let's talk about like this ideal customer. And so let's kind of go a little bit back to what we were just talking about when April was having a conversation with us. And I think one of the most extraordinary ways right now to find an ideal customer is by creating a digital filter. And what do I mean by digital filter? I think as of right now, people are doing a lot of free courses, doing free webinars. And this essentially brings your mass group of people who have interest in what is it that you're doing or that you're talking about, but a sense maybe having a sale at the end, or having, hey, if you're interested, give us a call. If you're looking to spend money with the business, here, give us a call, or fill out this form, or go ahead and make the payment. And so what I'm realizing now, creating a digital filter that filters out all the people who are just interested and never wanted to spend money to begin with, but just kind of wanted information. Like, I just really would encourage that first thing in finding an ideal customer is creating a digital funnel.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about how Jumping Jack Tax has done that?
So you have two different ways when it comes down to this qualification process of understanding your customer, and I'll get into both ways. The first way, like you said, is the digital side. So if you're somebody right now who's an entrepreneur and you're like, okay, Don, how do I qualify my customer? You have when it comes to this digital side of sales, right, you have two options. You can either talk to every single person on the phone and sell them on your product or your service, which to me comes out to be loads of time and loads of money, because you're going to have to build an entire sales team as volume increases and as your business begins to scale.
But don't be afraid to.
Don't be afraid to, because there are a lot of companies that are just straight phone companies like Verizon and Comcast and like these type of companies. You call in and they'll sell you on the service and take down your payment information, get your date, all that set up. But that takes more time to do. I believe that now many companies are laying off sales agents more so and going into more of a digital lane where everything can be clearly articulated through the internet. So one of the things that we've done with Jumping Jack Tax is when it comes to people wanting to join our company, we have a clearly articulated landing page. And on that landing page, one of the things that I did was...
Wait, what do you mean landing page?
So basically a landing page is a page that somebody lands on that has a bunch of information on what your opportunity or your product or service is about.
So you don't send them to the entire website, you send them to one specific page.
Landing page, correct. And that specific landing page has the specific information that's necessary that I want to give to people to sell them on the opportunity, the product or the service. In Jumping Jack Tax's case, the opportunity of licensing with us. We have a specific landing page, which, by the way, you can create a landing page through your actual website. If you have Wix, WordPress, whatever, all you got to do is create just a separate page, make that your landing page, okay? Send everybody there. Now, when we send all that traffic from Jumping Jack Tax to this landing page, one of the things that I did was I created a 2-hour video. It's on our landing page right now. In this 2-hour video, it goes through all of the nuts and bolts around Jumping Jack Tax, from why joining Jumping Jack Tax is important. Why do we start the company? What is the history behind it? What are all the fees and everything associated with Jumping Jack Tax? What do you receive when you join Jumping Jack Tax? It's the entire 2-hour video, which now that helps me understand that when people call because you still have the ability to call in the office, although I usually don't recommend it. Normally what we do is when somebody calls the office and they're interested in like, hey, I want to join Jumping Jack Tax, the first question that our sales reps have to ask is, did you watch the video on the website and on the landing page with all of the information? They either give you a yes or no, which allows me to now qualify them based off of the knowledge that they know about Jumping Jack Tax. Because if they didn't watch none of the information on the website, by our sales reps going ahead and just start talking to them about it without them visually seeing it leads to disaster. And that's one of the things that we did in 2019 that I would say was a failure on our end, was by selling people on joining Jumping Jack Tax without them actually reading and seeing the videos and information so that they had a clearer idea. Because when you're selling something, you could omit information just because you forgot to say it when you're on the phone talking to somebody.
Like a 2-hour conversation on the phone is different.
Especially when they're asking you loads of questions in the midst of all of that conversation. It's so much that can happen. So I realized there's so many variables to being on the phone and selling that now we have a clear policy in place that, hey, did you watch the information on the landing page and did you see everything? They either have yes or no. When they say yes, we know the type of customer, the potential customer it is, because they have very specific questions based off of the information that they saw.
And so you put this on the landing page to make sure that they don't have to go anywhere else on the website and do a whole bunch of clicking in order to find the information. So if you are a fitness trainer, if you own a cleaning company and you're advertising on social media and you're sending people to this landing page, it is important to have your frequently asked questions, your pricing, a video of what is it that you do, 100%. What is it that you're selling, what does your course do, what is the problem, what is the solution. So all of that on that sales page, essentially that landing page, you put everything right there. So if you offer a phone service where, hey, reach out, most of the questions are already asked before the investment is made.
Exactly. So instead of me calling it a landing page, I'll call it a digital sales page to make it easier for everybody to understand.
Your digital sales agent.
Your digital sales page is available 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it can sell. So now on that digital sales page, we have the option of people getting started immediately by going ahead and paying, or they can call, but they have specific questions. And that allows me now to understand, because the people who say, oh yeah, I did watch the information on the sales page, I start asking them certain questions and I'll be like, hey, so that means you know the price of how much it costs to join Jumping Jack Tax, you know our annual licensing fee and all fees associated. Nah, I didn't get to that part. Well, why are you calling our office then if you ain't get to that part? That allows us to now understand the people who are just literally trying to sign up for something without having any knowledge of what they're signing up for.
And I would say this has greatly changed the game, even for Alakazam apps, of essentially providing as much possible information before people have questions, because you have no idea. We would literally get in probably 700 calls a day, and 600 of them were people who had no intentions on spending money. They literally were jamming up our sales line just to be curious and just to ask questions. But that also requires work and labor 100%. And to get through those calls. And essentially, there was no filter. So, the sales team was calling every single one of those people back and they were ending up in nothing. Not because they didn't want the service, but they never called to pay for anything to begin with.
Or not even ending up in nothing. If you got a good sales agent, the good sales agent can close anybody. So with that said, you'll have people signing up for things that they don't even know much about just because the sales agent is closing them and giving them the information, but it's in through one ear and out the other.
But also, because if your pricing isn't clear, they were also calling just to inquire about a price.
And
essentially, they were window shopping.
Could be loads of phone calls by itself.
No matter what salesperson you had, no matter how good they are, if someone does not have the money, and once again on your sales page you're qualifying that person of saying, hey, this is the budget.
For sure.
You can't tell me that any sales agent can close any deal if the person only has $20 in their bank account.
And just to kind of give y'all some clarity on this, last year 90% of the Jumping Jack Tax partners that signed up came from phone calls, phone sales calls. 10% were actually no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. 99% of all partners who joined Jumping Jack Tax.
I was about to say, you took every single phone call.
99% of all partners who joined Jumping Jack Tax in 2019 were from phone calls. We only maybe had a 1% chance that somebody went to the website and signed up on their own. That was like, when I tell you rare, I mean like rare.
But you didn't have a landing page.
But I also didn't have the page, like you said, structured the right way to sell digitally. But once 2020 came and I started to get more acquainted with Facebook ads and understanding the digital side and realizing that I'm utilizing so many resources to just sell people on the phone and then to go over pricing with everybody. And these are hour-long conversations, by the way.
And questions that are just completely...
That are like, so it's like, hey, I can't do that. So when we turned it into the sales page, I remember the first person who signed up online by themselves, and then the second person, and then the third person. And I'm like, hold on. 3 people just paid $5,000 to join Jumping Jack Tax by themselves without talking to anybody. Why?
Yeah.
So I asked myself why, and I called these individuals, and I'm like, tell me about your process of your experience. Well, I saw everything online, then I went to the website, saw the information, then it was what's the name there for me to sign. So I'm like, That's what people need. So when the sales page got built out, made it look super good, all the information there. Now everybody that joins Jumping Jack Tax in 2020 is not 95% of everybody that joins Jumping Jack Tax is through our digital sales page now. 5% is through phone calls, people who have extra questions, and then they need just further clarity before they decide to sign up.
Taxes jumping, now my bag coming with that major money, dripping blessings. That might buy a house for my mama, bad credit. Don't even sweat it, cause they'll repair it, ain't no question. They can do it, it's a major